Welcome to Your Time In. I'm your host, Adrian Shepherd. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to kick off season two today. It's called The Journey. Right? We'll go into a little bit what the journey is about, why we ended the first season so quick, and how it's been helping us. So, the first season was a good intro to podcasting. I learned a lot. Had some serious topics on there, like the difference between coaching and therapy. We also did navigating change, and then the most recent one with our guest Brandon Shern was on gun control, which is a pretty serious topic right now. Don't want the topic to die down, so make sure you check those out. We jumped on to season two. We rebranded a little bit, new logo, new website, www.yourtimeiN.com. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Uh, so once we got all that stuff rolling, we decided it would be a good time to kick off season two. The reason why it's called The Journey. So the idea behind season two is we want everybody to be familiar with everybody else's journey and the struggles that go on with it, but also learn and take away from it how people got to where they are, where they hit, kind of hardships or tribulations or anything like that, how they succeeded, why they're succeeding, where they plan on going. So it's just about journeys in general. We're looking forward to having a lot of guests this season. It'll be very, very, very heavy, interview heavy. So we're gonna have guests on all different types of walks of life, doing all types of different things, and hopefully we can or they can inspire some of you to start your journeys and check in on your time. Today, though, I'm going to discuss my journey, how I ended up where I am, kind of the mind shift that happened within me, and where I plan on going. So, this is both with the podcast and my coaching career and then my professional career. I had a huge, huge, huge change recently, probably started at the beginning of 2022, actually. So, definitely looking forward to that. So what sparked my change was I came across a Bruce Lee quote. Shout out to Afion Crockett who loves Bruce Lee. But there's a quote called "Be water, my friend." I'm gonna read it to you. So it says, "Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my." So that quote right there, it literally changed my life. Um, we all learn about water in science class, like, it can do the four states, it can be a solid, liquid, gas, all that great stuff we learn about. And it never really hit home for me until I actually heard and read this quote. This quote right here, what it means to me is that you got to be dynamic in your life. So you have to be just as dynamic in your life, um, in your work, in your family life. Like every aspect of your life is dynamic, and you need to be like water and flow. So what is flowing? Flowing for me is the ability to go in between and out of different things. Sometimes you need to be like water in a river. Water in a river can cut through the ground. It supplies life. It goes ongoing, it's cold, you know what I mean? Like it changes too because at the shore it's really shallow, it's really soft. But if you ever get caught in a rapid or something like that, it's hard and heavy. So the other thing is water has the ability to cut through anything. At the right pressure, you can cut through anything with water. Water also is soft, right? It could be snow. Like it's crazy to me how much you changes is just in that one thing. So for me, with this quote, as far as my professional life, how I use this quote is, right now I'm in a supervisory role, and I just try to be fluid and dynamic. There's times where when you go to meetings and stuff and you represent your office where you do have to be hard and crisp and you have to have that cutting edge. But then with your employees, you need to learn how to be a little bit softer and hit them from a different dynamic. Um, but either way, you're still flowing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it impacts my work life. How it impacts my family life is I just try to meet the situations where they are and with that like state of mind. So if it's times where I just need to like be formless and shapeless, like I don't know what they expect from me, but I'm gonna show up and then I'm gonna fill the glass how the glass is laid out in front of me. Sometimes I'm gonna overfill it and sometimes I'm gonna underfill it, but at least I'm there filling the glass. I'm gonna be shapeless and I'm not gonna come with preconceived notions. I'm gonna talk about stuff and be open to the conversation. The other thing with coaching, now how I use this with my clients is I have every client I work with, like every single one, they have to read this quote. So, and then I let them think about how the quote impacts them and the dynamics of that quote as well. Um, so, what I've found out that works is when my clients are reading this quote, they take it, a piece of it, and they embody it. It's been very successful so far. They learn how to be more dynamic, how to naturally flow, how things are going, and uh, it's been very beneficial. Um, so that's how this quote has helped me. It's crazy that something so small or seems so small can have such a big impact. I don't know why Bruce Lee said it. I don't. I know it was in an interview. I don't know what his meaning was behind it, I should say. But I've turned it into my own thing, and it's really, really, really helped me in life and to get where I'm going. So, how has this podcast thing impacted my life? Oh man, it's been great. I've been so motivated lately. Like it's just crazy. Like I feel like I opened up a whole nother aspect of my life. If you're gonna be out here and you're gonna be doing this thing, you out in the public light, and people get to know you a little bit better. They see a side of you that you never present, or you get to become a version of yourself that nobody knew existed. That stuff right there is so cool to me. I've met so many people, and the crazy part is, in this like podcasting community, there's so many people who do it, and you don't have any idea that they do it. But when you meet them, it's like an automatic bond, and then you can help them with different aspects of different learning. Like I learn stuff every single day as far as this podcasting goes. Um, One of the biggest things I'm learning right now is just the interaction and with guests and how you bring guests on, but then the marketing aspect as well. You want to reach a lot of people, you want to have an impact on a lot of people, but then you still have to kind of find your lane and find out, what your audience wants to listen to and what they want to do. The whole purpose for me is I just want to see people grow. I want people to like unpause their life. It's your time in. It's time for you to do something that you've always wanted to do, but for some reason you had to put it on hold, right? So it doesn't matter what stops you. It's important to always go back and check in and see like how that thing is going to serve you right now. And then with launching this and then having the coaching business, it's just so rewarding. If people listen to the podcast and they take something away from it, they let you know. If they didn't take anything away from it, they let you know. Uh, and those are the things that kind of inspire me to keep going and just get bigger and better and keep growing. This season, you know, it is personal to me. On here, my journey is is unique and different, and I think everybody who's coming on here, their journeys are unique and different too. So for me, I've had to learn to be fluid just through the situations and stuff I've been through in my life. Um, you know, with wanting to switch to having a work life balance to having a son and learning how to be dynamic as a father and how to play even when you're tired. Like they don't care. Kids don't care if you're tired. My son, he does not get tired. Like he can play all day long and be perfectly happy with that. He does not get tired. So my journey to podcasting is opened me up to having dedicated time to myself to do things that I think are important or that I'm interested in, and nobody can take this away from me. Like it's mine. So if you tune in, I hope you take stuff away from it. But at the end of the day, I do this for me and hope that it has an impact on others and others take things away from me, take things away from it as well. So this season here, it'll be a fairly long season. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of people who do a lot of cool stuff. I'd invite you if you want to come in and talk about your journey with anything. shoot me an email. Let's work together. I'm so interested in what everybody does, how they do it, why they do it, and how it benefits them and what they take away from it. I think that's the only way we grow is by learning. So this season we're gonna have a couple mental health therapists with specialists, we should say, dynamic range there. We're gonna have people who do motivational stuff. We're gonna have a writer come on here. We're gonna have bodybuilders come on here, working on getting some more uh, yoga face centric people, podcasters. I mean, I'm down for anything. You own a business, you want to come on, tell people about what it was like, why you started it, what it means to you. Um, the theme is the journey should inspire other people that are like minded like you, or introduce you to people that are like minded like you as well, just from word of mouth of being on. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Every episode will be roughly around 30 minutes, with the exception of the intro. That's just to allow for interviews, everybody to check in. Uh, and that way we can actually get to know the people who are coming on. And if y'all want them to come back, by all means, leave it in the comments. They'll come back. We'll do other interviews with them. Maybe they can spur off into different aspects. We'll go from there. So, I hope that the takeaway from this season is just that you can go further than what you think you can. And everybody encounters obstacles, but it's up to you to figure out how to overcome them. Maybe their situation will shine light onto something that you haven't thought about and inspire you to do that. I look forward to interviewing the guests. I know some guests that are already coming on here. I think the energy will be dynamic. It'll be a lot more fun. Um, oh, we are also gonna have a singer on here too, so that should be but yeah, I'm just really excited. I wanted to come in, introduce everybody. As the season progresses, you'll get to know me a little bit better. I'll share more and more different aspects of my personal life and my journeys that I'm working with. But I wanted to do an intro to the season. I wanted to kick it off. Our first guest will be next weekend. Looking forward to having her on here. Looking forward to collaborating with her. I've known her since college, and it's a great opportunity presented itself. So looking forward to having Jessica on here, and look forward to working with everybody else who's coming to follow. Well, thank you for your time today. Thanks for tuning in. Break time is over. It's time to check in.